Thank you for joining me on this episode of Formula One, the Formula One show. My name is Divan Erasmus. Today we'll be covering what happened in the last race, and specifically we'll be covering Red Bull. So the Red Bull F1 team is definitely suffering. They do not have the package that they have always had the comfortable lead with in the past. They always had the best car, and however, Vettel was able to win 4 drivers' championships with Red Bull. I don't see that happening in the near future. Red Bull at the moment is actually, telling Formula One governing body, probably also Bernie Ecclestone, that if the rules do not change and the FIA do not change the rules on the engines, freeze, and all of those rules that they've got. I can't mention all of them because there's just too many areas to cover with regards to the development of the car and the restrictions of development of the car. Red Bull has come out saying that they would quit Formula One racing altogether if something does not change for them to be more competitive. So this is another wake-up call for Red Bull, realizing that they are no longer in charge as they were in the past. They are no longer able to effectively win the World Championships as they did before. I would say the good thing is that when Red Bull was the champions, they weren't the champions with a car that was as powerful compared to the rest of the field as Mercedes. Mercedes cars are just way above the rest of the cars, which is scary. Red Bull in the past, when they won the championships, they were almost close enough to be challenged by the rest of the field. Mercedes, however, is not. So Red Bull has always been very competitive. They have received a lot of competitions, and what I mean with that is lots of drivers and teams could compete against them without them having too much of a disadvantage or advantage, depending on how you look at it. So Red Bull has definitely had some very good years, some very strong competition, and they definitely did prove themselves to be the successful and most prestigious team during the 4 years that they have reigned. Unfortunately, those times and those years are over, and Red Bull is slowly but surely feeling the depressed feeling of not being in control. So welcome to Formula One, Red Bull. If you're not in control, that means that you are doing it correctly. Formula One is a constantly changing and evolving sport. You cannot be in charge, Red Bull. I hope you realize that now, or at least you would realize it soon enough. What I would like to say is, Ricciardo, you have a team that would not be able to help you reach your potential. If I was you, I would try and get out of that team, move to a better team, hopefully maybe Williams. I do believe Williams might sooner or later in the near future, probably in the near future, become bankrupt. I hope not. It would be a real pity because Williams is a very, very well-known team. They've got lots of history in Formula One. It would be very sad to lose them. However, I do think that they don't have the financial support, and they don't have the financial capacity to go on the way that they are going. It's not that they don't have good drivers. Williams just isn't delivering. For some reason, it's like they are jinxed. They just cannot win championships anymore, which is a sad thing, I would have to say. But enough about that. Going back to Red Bull, Ricciardo, your potential, I think, would never be seen again. You had your glory years last year, 2014. It's really sorry to see you having to suffer like this. However, unfortunately, that is the way Formula One works. There are lots of good drivers that suffer, especially now with Alonso going to McLaren, which is a useless team at the moment. I'm sorry to say this. I really do respect McLaren. They've got pedigree, history in Formula One that only Ferrari can match. So, unfortunately, McLaren please get your game together, fix yourself up. Hopefully McLaren will be soon, probably not this year, probably not next year, maybe in the near future, will probably be on a very much better footing as they are on this year. Going back to Red Bull, like I said, Ricciardo had some a good run, good experiences last year. I don't think he will receive quite as much TV time as he did last year. He just doesn't have the car, and that's sad. The funny thing is, Red Bull was trying to camouflage their car design, and it made me believe that they truly think they have the best car at the moment, and I was quite interested to see what would happen. But seeing the performance of the Red Bull, seeing the performance of Ferrari, Red Bull is suffering, and Ferrari has once again proven themselves to be worthy competitors in Formula 1. However, unfortunately not getting to the likes of Mercedes. So Red Bull, welcome to Formula 1. If you don't get it your way, like I said, you're doing it right. And if you need to leave the sport, leave it altogether. Unfortunately, I believe there was a news article of your trophies being stolen. Sorry to hear about it. You probably need to work very, very, very hard to get new trophies to add to your collection if you plan on winning world championships. And if you decide on quitting, no one will ever have a grudge against you. Just realize this, is that many teams have come and gone, and I don't think Formula 1, the governing body, FIA, or even Bernie Ecclestone really is concerned about a team saying that they will leave. You will probably show sympathy for the sake of showing sympathy, but if you need to leave, then so be it. Being a nagging child will not help anyone. So that is my feedback for you on this episode of Formula 1, and where we talked about the last Grand Prix and Red Bull not having the performance which we would have hoped they would have. So thank you for joining me on this episode. If you have any comments, leave it in the comment section, and hopefully Ricciardo will find his team that can give him and show him his full potential, so he can explore his full potential. So thank you much for watching. Leave your comments in the comment section, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and ciao for now.